what Tinubu begged Buhari's led government to do moments after he returned from France. Bola Tinubu has made a key request from the Muhammadu Buhari-led government moments after he returned from his trip to France. Tinubu begged the federal government to swing in action by going after attackers of the Kuje prison in Abuja. The aim is to capture them and deal decisively with them. According to a report by Daily Post, Tinubu also urged the federal government to recapture the escaped inmates and bring them back to the correctional facility. These were contained in a statement issued by Tunde Rahman, the media aide to the presidential candidate of the APC. The APC national leader went ahead to condemn the attack on Kuje prison. He noted that the repeated attacks in the country are becoming very worrisome and these should be stopped. He also called on Nigerians to be very vigilant in view of these attacks by terrorists. He advised them to be law-abiding and united while backing the relevant authorities in the country. Tinubu called for investigation into the incident at Kuje prison. He also condoled with the families of those who lost their lives during that fatal attack on Tuesday. He then called Nigerians to back Buhari as he and his government make efforts to combat insecurity in the country. It will be recalled that the attack on Kuje prison raised eyebrows as Nigerians wondered why such thing can happen in a well-guarded prison like that, where there are many security operatives on ground and architecture in place. Buhari, who visited the scene, also expressed his disappointment with the security intelligence system and raised the same questions. Although some escaped inmates have been recaptured, that's so unlucky. Imagine you actually try to escape and then they just captured you and put you back. Oof. While efforts to capture more are ongoing, it is not clear if the attackers will be captured or not after ISWAP claimed responsibility for the attack. You see the level of insolence and you see the level of impunity. Imagine, ISWAP, threatened and I think what did they call for a ransom, or they called giving the train attack from Abuja to Kaduna, yes. And I think they expressed their demands based on that attack, and the government did not reply, and so they did this in retaliation. Not retaliation, more like in exertion and an assertion of their power. Because imagine in a country you take responsibility. Imagine you take responsibility for such a crime, for such an atrocity. How confident are you to do that? You are only confident to do that when you know there will be no consequences. And it is safe to say that in such a system, you have a lot of power. And this is why we need to be very scared. For a criminal to be confident to a government body that they did something and they're admitting it. Yeah. Problem. Big problem. And this is where Buhari's government needs to go. Like, vamoose. This is horrible. If you're not scared, you should already be scared. If you're not scared, maybe you already lost hope. I don't know. But this is not normal. I know that, and it's like, what kind of shock do we want? And Nigerians understand that the bar is so low. Buhari just came and, in fact, there's no standard, there's no bar. He just took the bar and threw it away. There's no standard. And as much as we can be hopeful, things were not bad. We were even complaining rigorously about how things need to change. And that is why APC even came into government in the first place. And to think that they've made things even worse, it's like, until what extent do we have to be stretched and violated against all forms of being and respect as human beings for us to now decide that this is not normal? Because again, as much as we don't, if you don't admit it, not everybody can run. Not everybody has the financial capability to leave the country. Not everyone can do that. And it's funny because what now happens is that those in remote areas, or those who have sort of lost hope in Nigeria, have just accepted the way things are. Not that it is their fault, but a constant battering of their spirit with the failures of this country. You cannot but be surprised that people will get into a state of I don't ready to say neutrality, or just they're just there. You can't do anything. You feel powerless. You can't make any moves. You're just there. You're not even complaining. You're just there. You're just there and looking. In fact, you're not doing anything. You just realize that you are in a very bad system, and you will just have more peace keeping to yourself, because trying to enforce change, as you might have been traumatized in the past, have led to so many deaths. It is very bad. Nigeria, I think, understanding that the fact that with the way things are, I mean, it's safe to say, as Nobudefa to me would also say, that Nigeria is like an illegitimate state. The constitution is just, it's very, very bad. And so he describes Nigeria as a group of nations forming one federal body. And that is what it is. Given our ethnicities and given the main regions in Nigeria, they might as well just be separate countries. And that is why separating doesn't necessarily seem to be, because again, it's like, if imagine, let's say, within the Yoruba people, they want to divide, and Yoruba wants to split into and become two countries, then you can say, it's very hard, because it's like, okay, you're trying to separate, but then you're basically the same thing. But then it's easier for us to stand and say, okay, fine, you have your what's Odudua, you have the Yoruba and you have the Igbos. Like, it's easier for us to just separate, because at the end of the day we came together. I mean, even Faritimi also mentioned that the Yorubas could have left. Northern Cameroon actually left, and I didn't even know this, and that's why we have the whole Amazonian murky thing, because it's like the Northern Cameroon decided to leave Nigeria. And I guess maybe it goes and out thinking, if you had left earlier, like, let's say IPOB members would have thought to themselves, if you had left earlier. But the fact is, we should also embrace the fact that as much as we are individuals, or like we have our own power and autonomy as different regions, and really and truly we could be our own individual countries. Fact is that the founding fathers, when they were negotiating for our independence, found ways and understood how complex Nigeria was, given our different religions, our different ethnicities and cultures, and that is why they chose the system of federalism in the first place. At the end of the day, if we want to restructure and we are looking for us to change things, let us go back to the core. Let's go back to the original plan of what Nigeria was meant to be. Because really and truly, what it was meant to be was regions within a body who had autonomy over their own resources with one central power. I understand that division of power was basically the idea, and basically the concept of federalism is basically all about division of power. But then when you have greedy criminals who are trying to just facilitate their interest and their interest only, of course, federalism is a perfect game to play. Just sweet. Just create that platform for them to just, solidify their agenda. It is what it is. Put what you think in the comment section about this. And don't forget to like and subscribe.